Hey guys, Carolyn here. Today I'm going to be doing my review of the 7th episode of Produce X101. The episode aired on Friday. Today's Sunday. I just got out of work from my morning shift, so I look exhausted, but we're gonna do this anyways. This episode was mainly the second half of the performances that I talked about last week, and the final results from this round. So if you want to go ahead and see me talk about the first half of the episode, or the performances rather, I will go ahead and link that video up above right now. But this is also in a playlist with all of my other Produce X101 videos. So if you've never seen me review the episode before and for some reason you want to start at the beginning and go ahead and watch all of them, you can do that. But today we're going to talk about episode 7. So episode 7 started off with the Swallow team. It was one of the dance teams. Mnet did release all the fan cams for all of the performances sometime last week before this episode aired. So I had seen a lot of these performances through members' fan cams. So it was actually really interesting to see how Mnet went and edited the final video, because I watched a ton of fan cams last week. So the Swallow team was made up of a lot of low-ranked trainees. It was the last dance performance to Formed. I'm pretty sure it was the last song available. There were a couple people who weren't even dance trainees. They all got on stage. Kim Mingyu from Willem said that he had a dream that Hyunsu, who was the center of the group, I believe, that he won first place, and so he was like, I think he's gonna win first. Hyunsu and Yunsul were known to be great dancers amongst the trainees, but everyone else in the team I feel like was known to be pretty new trainees or pretty inexperienced trainees. Because a lot of the trainees didn't have much experience, the trainees who had a lot of experience, Hyunsu and Yunsul, tried to make a choreography that everybody would be able to do. And at their practice with the trainers said it looked super cheap because they had so few experienced dancing trainees. They needed to find a way to make a performance fit all of the trainees and show off everyone, but also not be too difficult so that they would be able to learn it in time. I thought this performance was really fun. One of the few boys that I was really interested in this group was Mingyu from Willem. He's one of those boys I'm keeping an eye on. Probably will get eliminated next week, and I'm trying not to be sad about it, but I'm a little sad about it. There was also one of the YG trainees in it, Junhao. I never say his name right, but he was in this group, ranked 6th. This is not a video about YG for once, but he did rank 6th in this group, which I thought was super interesting because Marhiro from last week also ranked 7th in his group. They ranked last place in both their groups, which is really sad, and I feel like both of them are going to get eliminated next week, and I'm pretty sad about it. I think everybody except for Hyunsu and Yunsul looked like they were very inexperienced trainees. I was watching Hyunsu's fan cam and then I watched Minso's fan cam, and there's a huge difference in the choreography. I also thought the choreography was fun, but it wasn't super memorable, or it wasn't super exciting. It felt pretty yeah, they danced to the song. Hyunsu did end up taking first place like Minso predicted, so yeah, everyone cried a lot. Ugh, it was really sad. I didn't really know much about Hyunsu before this performance. I did not really know who he was. He did a really good job in this performance, and I think he definitely deserved to be first. Next was the Barcode team. I don't even want to talk about this performance, to be honest. It was so bad. So this is a rap team. This was the other rap team. Last week we talked about the first rap team that had the 59th and 60th guy in it. So half that team wasn't rappers. This team was made up of rappers, right? I think everybody was a rapper in this group, or had some rap experience. At least they didn't focus on the fact that they had to write lyrics, so it wasn't a big thing for them to write lyrics. So I assume that all of these boys have some rap experience at some point in their lives. First thing that happened with this team was that Wonhyuk, who is somebody that people were telling me to look out for, and Yuri, who I started to like, and now I don't really like him because there's all those rumors about him, and I don't really know. They were arguing for a long time about who wanted to be the center. Wonhyuk was the center for the 101 Energetic team, I believe it was. He wanted to be the center again because the reason he went from 99th place, he was the 99th ranked boy for a while, he went up to 57th, I think, was because of those extra points. So he was like, I need these extra points that you get from winning first place to help me out, help me get through this elimination as well. So that's why he wanted center. Yuri wanted center because he had never been center before. He argued that Wonhyuk was center last time and he never has gotten a chance to do it before. And the other two boys in the team, each of them voted for either Yuri or Wonhyuk, so there was no majority vote, so that's why there was such like an argument, and the other two boys looked so uncomfortable the entire time. They were like, I don't know how to like fix this. The leader was Baekjin, and he like didn't know what to do, and I can't blame him. I wouldn't have known what to do either. Yuri ended up being the center. Wonhyuk backed down because he was like, I don't think this Yuri guy is gonna like back down. I don't really like, whatever, he can be the center. So, which he was bummed about. He didn't want to give it up, but he ended up giving it up. So Yuri didn't do great during practice. He stumbled over his rap lyrics. He like looked down a lot. He messed up a lot. After that, they decided we need a new center. So then Baekjin wanted to be the center. So it was Wonhyuk and Baekjin ended up winning the vote, the majority vote. Which I thought it was funny that Yuri voted for Baekjin. He like really didn't want Wonhyuk to be the center. So then Wonhyuk was mad because he didn't get to be the center again. They're practicing separately for a while, and then they did their rehearsal. One of Wonhyuk's English lyrics was kind of off, and I think it was Cheetah was like, why didn't you say this instead? And he was like, oh, you know, like his English isn't very good. And he was like, well, why didn't Yuri check it? Yuri knows English really well. And Wonhyuk was like, well, we're not checking each other's lyrics. And they were all like separate. It was a very separate like practice team. And then they were trying to do like the, not really choreography because it's a rap group, but just like their stage positions, practicing their performance, like the positions wise. Baekjin got really mad as the leader. He was trying to keep everyone focused. Wonhyuk looked super uninterested and unmotivated, and he like freaked out, and then Wonhyuk got upset. I'm so tired of these Produce boys. Sorry. I will say positive things about Wonhyuk in a minute, but I'm so tired of these Produce boys crying over not getting a center position. The center position, yeah, if you do it really well, you are pretty much guaranteed to get first place in the ranking. But if you do a moderate job, but somebody else who's not the center does a great job, then they end up ranking first place. Being the center does not automatically mean you win first place. Like, that's not a thing. So I'm so tired of all of these trainees being so upset when they could just do a great job blowing the audience away with their own parts that they're given. If they're only given one line, I understand that. But like, if for a rap group, Wonhyuk was given a lot of lines for someone who was not the center. And he did a really good job. And spoiler alert, he won first place. And I'm very happy for him because he, I will say, was the only one who didn't stumble over his lines in the performance, which is why this performance is so painful to think about and talk about. Eugene, who like hadn't said a word the entire time Mnet was showing us this group, he had said 0 words. When he got to his part, he stumbled over his lines a little bit, and I think that caused everyone else to like panic a little, because then Yuri stumbled over his lines and then Baekjin stumbled over his lines. So Wonhyuk was the only person who did not stumble over his lines. He practiced his part after him and Baekjin had like a little heart-to-heart, and they were like, okay, we're fine now. He was the only one who didn't stumble over his lines, and he actually delivered all of his lines correctly, and so he won first place. So he wasn't center, but he didn't look that excited about it because the rest of his team suffered, because they spent that like whatever day dealing with him being all mopey because he didn't get to be the center. So you know what I mean? It's not entirely his fault that his other members forgot their lyrics, but you know what I mean? It could have been a much better performance if they hadn't spent so much time trying to make Wonhyuk happy. That being said, I really did like his part of the performance. Baekjin, I thought, did a really good job as well. Yeah, but I'm just so tired of it because it really does bring the whole team down. And even if it's an individual performance, the whole team is going to suffer if you're going to cry about not being the center. Focus on your lyrics and doing a good job on stage, especially in a group like a rap group where you know everyone's going to get their own parts and their own chance to shine. Like, sorry, it's just so annoying. And people say that I bully like the young trainees because they cry about things like this, but also if they just realized like, yeah, it sucks that I'm not the center, but if they get a couple of parts and they work really hard on those parts and maybe ask for like, can I have a place to show myself then if I'm not going to be the center, it will work out. That was that team. Wonhyuk got first. I believe Yuri got last place. Yeah. Next was the Day by Day team. I was so happy to move on to a different team. Also, I like the Day by Day team a lot. I like this song a lot, and I also like a lot of trainees in this group. So Yuvin was in this group, Suhwan was in this group, and Moon Junho from Willem was in this group. So 3 boys out of the 5 that I was like super interested in. Yuvin and Suhwan were very desperate for teammates. This was like the last vocal group to be chosen, I think, which was very sad. This is a very good song. And then Daehyun joined, and he has history playing instruments and also history composing and arranging songs. So they were very excited because if you're in a vocal group, you have to rearrange your song, and Suhwan and Yuvin had no experience with that. So Donghyun came, everyone was super excited. He automatically became the leader. That was it. Yuvin became the center after him, Donghyun, and Suhwan all like battled it out. He became the leader, which I thought personally, love them both, but Suhwan I think did a little better in that. I probably would have voted for Suhwan if I was there, just saying. Donghyun really wanted to use his guitar in the performance. Suhwan kept saying that it probably wouldn't like fit the rest of the song, but Donghyun was like, this is probably my last performance, I'm ranked really low, I really want to use my guitar, I really want to be on stage with my guitar, it's my favorite thing in the entire world. And then the music directors were like, I don't know if this is gonna fit the rest of the song, the rest of the performance, so they said no. So he was really upset because he was like, I don't know what to do to show myself, I want to use my guitar, that was the whole thing. Suhwan came in, talked to him, and was like, you can use your guitar, that's fine, you can use your guitar. Then Yuvin was like, I don't know how to like sing this song, like I feel like we should choose a concept for the song and I don't understand the song. So then he pulls out his phone, he's like, let me call a friend of mine. He calls Kim Jae-hwan. Yuvin is friends with Kim Jae-hwan? What? That was the most random thing in the entire world. Like, why have you not shared this information with us beforehand? Like, and then the performance was so good. I think the best part of this performance was Moon Junho's voice, because he was in a 17 group last time, and he got like a couple lines, and Moon Junho got like 0 screen time the entire like drama thing that was going on, because it was focusing on the guitar thing, and then Yuvin not singing the song in the correct way. Moon Junho got 0 screen time during all of this, but he had so many lines in that performance, and he was a super strong vocalist, super stable vocalist, incredible. I watched his fan cam because I was like looking through all the fan cams, and I was like, what group is Moon Junho even in? He gets so little screen time, I like don't even know what group he's in ever. He did so good, and he ended up ranking 3rd, which I thought was amazing because Korea's been sleeping on him this whole time. I've been sleeping on his vocals this whole time. Nobody knew he was this great vocalist, and that makes me so sad because he's so good. Suhwan got 5th, and he ended up getting 20th out of the 20 vocalists, like overall, and I was like so confused. Why does everyone hate Suhwan? I don't understand. Yuvin got 1st, of course, which was understandable. I mean, he's Yuvin. Next, we need to talk about the stage that I was most worried about, the turtle ship stage, which was the Exposition rap dance team. I was so worried about this group because there were like no rappers on this team. I don't know why none of the rappers except for Jinhyuk wanted to be on the rap dance team. Why didn't Baekjun want to be on this team? If Baekjun had been there, it would have been a whole different story. A lot of trainees with low rankings, just like the vocal group. A lot of trainees that wanted to just save themselves. A lot of trainees that were like, oh, I want to learn from you, Jinhyuk. I want to learn a little bit more about rapping. Which, this is not the place, like the time to do that in a group, in the X group. If you wanted to learn about rapping, you should have joined one of the 2 other rap teams, because they only have to focus on rapping and somebody could have taught you. Just like the 59th and the 60th guy. The 2 boys in that team who were rappers were like, yeah, we can teach you, because you know, the only thing we have to think about is the rap. In an X team, you have to choreograph the song too. You have to do a dance. You have to dance. And so he had a bunch of like low ranked trainees, and Eugene. So Eugene was ranked 25th. And he probably could have chosen like whatever he wanted, honestly. Could have chosen any song because he was 25th. I'm sure a lot of songs were still open at that point. I don't know how many songs were open, but I'm sure quite a few of them were still open at this point. We get in this team, Jinhyuk starts playing the song, Way, Jinhyuk. They're the same person. If I call him Way, it's because he's my attention bias. I've called him Way for 4 years now, and I like just... Sorry. So, Eugene joins this group, they start playing the song, and Eugene goes, I don't think I can rap to this song. And I was just sitting there like, then why did you choose this song, Eugene? You've never rapped in your entire life. I'm still confused why you're still on this show, because you have proven to not be good at anything. He was very good in Sky Castle. I finished Sky Castle the other day. Thought the ending was a little weird, but I thought Eugene was fantastic in Sky Castle. If he had just decided to be an actor for the rest of his life, he'd probably be fine and be set and it would be all good. But he joined the show for some stupid reason. I'm sure he got other acting opportunities after Sky Castle, because you know that other people from Sky Castle are acting in other things now. But anyways, why did you choose this song, Eugene? You weren't last place. You weren't ranked 60th. You had plenty of songs open to you when you were choosing your song? Why did you choose this song? If you think that you can't rap to this song, why didn't you choose one of the other rap songs? Is this the only rap song you knew from those and that's why you chose it? But obviously you would know if you could rap to this song. If this is why, it was just so frustrating because Jinhyuk's looking at him like, what do you mean you can't rap to this song? Like, so Way became the center. This other guy, whose name I don't remember, became the leader. We never really saw how he became the leader, but he was the worst leader I've seen on Produce, at least from Mnet's editing. He was so bad. He was the worst leader I've ever seen. So Way became the center. He had to help everyone. He had to choreograph the dance. Nobody knew how to choreograph a dance. So he did the dance. He did the rap. Actually, no, I think the reason Way said he did the dance was because he was worried that the other boys were still learning how to rap, and he was like, I can't ask them to stop practicing their rap to do this. I don't know. There, a lot of that footage is him trying to convince everyone, like trying to help everyone else. I don't know how he found time to practice for himself. He did a lot of the choreo. When they did the first like trainer meetup, there was like nothing to show, and one of the trainers was like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen on Produce 101, like ever. And that like crushed Way because he was the only one doing anything. All the other boys were relying on him. Wasn't even the leader. Why was this other boy the leader? He did nothing that I saw. Nothing constructive that I saw. Finally, everyone was getting distracted. He was trying to get this was after they said that this is the worst thing ever. He got mad at everyone and then he stormed out and got upset. I just wanted to shake everyone and be like, can you just like pretend like you care for 5 minutes? Because you all are. Eugene said something when he came back that was like, oh, we have to do both. Like, this is hard because we have to dance and rap. And I was like, Eugene, why did you choose this song? For what reason? Like, what is this going to do for you? Nothing. Anyway, so then they finally talked it all out, and the leader guy said something that was like, you know, I think we're just all under a lot of stress. And I was like, yeah, maybe you should have done something before now. And anyways, they completed the performance. It was actually a pretty good performance compared to the other two rap performances. This was probably my favorite one. Nobody really impressed me this performance except for Way. I guess Peak did a good job. He did a good job. Everyone else was just like kind of there. That was really sad because I think if there had been some good rappers on this team, like some actual rappers on this team, except maybe Peak is a rapper, I don't remember, but if there had been some actual rappers on this team, this stage would have been phenomenal. Can you imagine like if there had been like Baekjin and Way on this team, or like Daehyun and Way on this team, or like just literally any of the rappers on this team that actually knew how to rap. Eugene got last, felt a little satisfied with that. That's very mean of me to say, but he just annoyed me so much this entire time. The way Mnet edited him annoyed me so much. So yeah, and Way got first, understandably. The leader guy is the guy who got second, so when it was down to both of them, the leader guy was like, yeah, I hope I win first. I was like, I hope you don't, because you did nothing. He showed his like really flat stomach for a minute, and that was about all I remembered from him in that performance. Then we moved on to the Believer team. Thank God Mnet edited it this way, that we had the Turtle Ship performance and then the Believer team, because the Believer team was glorious. Oh my god. I saw all these things on Twitter about Yoonsung's fan cam, so I went and I looked it up, and holy cow. If you have not seen Yoonsung's fan cam, you need to watch it. You need to stop this video and go watch it right now. So the Believer team, nobody had full experience fully choreographing a song except for Sunho, which was like 6 years ago. So they all split up into pairs and started doing it, and every other pair kind of split off, but Yoonsung and Daehyun were a pair, and I guess they've been best friends since B class, which was super cute. Yoonsung was being shipped with another boy, Minhee on Produce, and now all of that's out the window. We only support Daehyun and Yoonsung together. So they ended up choreographing it, and they worked together super well, and the other trainees were like, oh yeah, like they worked together super well. They started the choreography. First of all, I love this song, so I was like, please do a good job. When I heard that this was a song, I was like, please do a good job. I love this song. The trainer said the choreography, it wasn't interesting. There's also this point at the first part where the other boys kind of kneeled down, and then it revealed Dongpyo. It ended up being Dongbin later, but Dongpyo was the first to be shown, and they said that that part's not good because he looks so childish and the rest of the choreography is so intense, and so like all the other boys look so manly compared to Dongpyo, which I'm still surprised Dongpyo was in this group. I don't know why he chose this group. I mean, I know he explained it. He was like, I'm the first center that's like not doing so great. To that, like Sakura from last season did super well. Youngjae from the first season did super well, but I felt like for first season of Produce, a lot of people didn't like Daehyun in the middle of the show, and then he ended up debuting. I have to say I might agree, because I feel like Jongpyo isn't that focused on by Mnet. There's a lot of other boys that have caught Mnet's attention, so Jongpyo's not really the center of attention anymore. There really hasn't been a lot of focus on Jongpyo, someone who's a big focus. And from like when they were choosing their like the NCT teams and everything, there was a little focus on them, but I feel like Mnet's not that interested in him, and I again feel like he's not in the top 11 currently. Jongpyo got a lot of negative feedback because of his looks and his vibes with the song. The way I think he would have done a lot better in the Swallow team, because I think he would have fit with those boys a lot better if he wanted to do a dance team, but he wanted to challenge himself, and that's fine. That's all right, because he's a good dancer, so it's not like he was trying this for the first time. He is a good dancer. They changed the choreography. There's a lot of positive feedback from that. All of the boys worked super well together. They practiced so hard for this performance. Not that other teams didn't practice hard for their performances, because they did, but I think that this team was just a group of boys that worked really well together, and that didn't really have any arguments they couldn't get over. They were all very agreeable kids, and we're like, you know, we're gonna do a great performance. Probably my favorite performance of this season. From the 3 dance performances, this was the only one that I like want to watch again. I feel like this was the only one that showed every single boy in the group well, and it wasn't just the way Mnet edited it, it was the way that the performance was too, though it was a combination of both. So for the Finesse team, I didn't see the Woolen boys at all, or the third Starship boy at all. Swallow team, it was just not very sharp, like you could tell there were inexperienced dancers. For this team, we had a lot of experienced dancers. Each person, they had like a good part. Kukyeon had the most, but he was the center, so that's fine. I feel like I saw everyone. Dongbin probably could have been shown a little bit more, but besides that, I feel like everyone was shown super well. Sunho got 6th, which I thought was kind of sad, and Yoonsung got 1st. If you have not seen Yoonsung's fan cam, then you probably don't understand why, if anyone else had been 1st, Donghyun would have been a good 1st place as well. I thought he did really, really well in that performance, but Yoonsung did amazing. His ending part, his facial expressions, he fit that song so well, and yeah, I was very happy with it. The last group was To My Youth, which are basically all pretty boys, and a lot of boys that weren't very strong vocalists, I thought. So we had Byungchan from Plan A, who keeps surprising me on this show. Mingyu, who everyone thinks I hate him, so I want to talk about that. We have Lee Jin-woo, who I kept forgetting who he was. Hey Nami, little Jin-hyuk's son. And then we have Woo-suk, who Woo-suk a lot of people think is just a visual, but he's actually the lead vocalist of Uptension and the face of Uptension, so he's used to being like in the center singing. And this boy Sejin, who I did not know anything about watching this performance. Jinwoo didn't want to sing all of a sudden. He ranked, I think, 7th. All of a sudden, he was like, I can't sing to this song. We got in the group. Woo-suk was like, I will show you, I will teach you this song. I don't know why this keeps happening to the TOP media boys. They keep having to teach everyone everything. Woo-suk was like, I will help you sing this song. And Jin was like, I can't do it. Like, I can't sing the song. I don't think my voice will fit the song. Again, I was like, why did you choose the song then, Jin? Why didn't you choose another song? So Woo-suk helped him a lot. He eventually got over all of that, and he did a very good job in this performance. Mingyu was the other storyline of this. He didn't sing loud enough. He got criticized a lot. Him and Jinwoo got criticized a lot because then Byungchan would sing, and the trainers were like, Byungchan is too loud, and the rest of you are too soft. From Mingyu, because I've criticized Mingyu a lot this season, and he's number 2, and I've always felt that he did not deserve that position. Who was the first fan cam I watched from this? I think it was Woo-suk. And then I watched Mingyu's fan cam, and I was very impressed. In every season of Produce, there is a boy or a girl who is very much just a visual, who makes it into the top 10 or 11 or whatever, and that has bugged me for so long, because everyone on Produce tries hard. If they don't try hard, they get eliminated first elimination. And that's not everyone who doesn't try hard, because there are a lot of boys or girls who try hard, who just for some reason are not chosen by Mnet to have screen time, and they just, yeah. So there's always a lot of talent eliminated as well. People who don't try hard are eliminated right away. So I'm saying all 60 of these boys are trying hard. There are just some boys who are not good. who are not experienced, who have no experience, who people get a lot of really good experience from Produce, which is another reason that a lot of very new trainees will go on Produce, is because the trainers are very good on Produce. He said, and I quoted this, he said, I don't want to be a Mingyu who tries hard. I want to be a Mingyu who's good. He said, I don't want to try hard. Need to be good to debut. I can't try hard and debut. And that sat so well with me. That's like the best thing I've ever heard a visual on Produce say. It just made me so happy because he knows that he got to being number 2 by his face. He knows that there is like very little talent he has shown. And he also knows that he's getting a lot of negative comments now. He got a lot of negative comments on his 7th Sense performance, saying that he didn't dance well, he didn't sing well, like what was he doing here? I really liked that. And then his performance was good. He had a very stable voice during his performance. He probably could have sang a little louder, but he did a really good job. That is the most impressed I've been with Mingyu this entire season. We're 7 episodes in. I've watched 14 hours, at least 14 hours of this show with Mingyu in it. And this is the first time I've been impressed with him. He can stay in the top 11. I acknowledge him. I even started to like him a little bit. Like, I think that he could debut. And I think that he learned so much and became so good in such a short amount of time that he can only go up from here. I just hope he continues to work this hard in the future for his future stages. Woosuk killed it though. This was Woosuk's stage. He did fantastic. I don't think anyone else should have been first. I don't think anyone else should have been the main vocal. He is so freaking talented, and I feel like in the Love Shot performance, you couldn't tell that his vocals are so good, but in Uptension songs, you can tell. His vocals are so good. Woosuk cried so much afterwards, and I cried with him, and oh my gosh, that Sejin boy got 5th. Okay, so real quick, they did the final performances, the final rankings for all of this. The top dance boy was Hyunsoo from the Swallow team. I don't think Swallow should have won, because I believe Believer was the best team, but it was only 4 votes between him and Yesung, which made me so sad. It should have been at least like 15 votes, but 4 votes. Congrats to him though. Yesung and Hangul still got their benefit votes, which was really nice. Top rap was Wonhyuk. Nobody from the rap team really did a fantastic job this time around, just saying. But Wonhyuk, cool. Vocalist, Kim Woosuk. I would have been happy with any of the first place vocalists getting first place, except for Eunseong maybe. But anyone else, I would have been pretty happy with it, because it was like, it was Sungwoo versus Woosuk for first place, and I would have been happy with either one of those because I like both those boys. X round was Jinhyuk. The votes between him and everyone else on his team, the number of votes, he got 680 votes, and that leader guy got like 300, and it just made me so satisfied. I'm so happy Jinhyuk won, because between all of the X performances, he deserved to win. It was him and Jungmo from Starship, and yeah, he should have won. So that's it. I talked way too much this episode. I feel like I shouldn't have talked this much, but anyways, that is it for my review of Produce X101 episode 7. Let me know what your favorite performance was down in the comment section down below. Next week's an elimination episode, so kind of sad about it, but anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye.